I spit on the ground and walk off. Bro, there's no way he's real, bro.
Greetings, YouTube. You don't know me, I don't know me, he doesn't know me, she doesn't know me, but trust me, you will know me.
To be successful online, you need to be a little bit crazy. Sprinkle in a dash of charisma, and you might just make it. And the thing about being crazy is it's a large and big spectrum, right? People who are chaotic and can't control their own emotions or mentality versus people who know exactly what they're doing and then they use their madness for their own gain. Such as Logan Paul down here. Very charismatic, probably narcissistic guy. Wants to be the richest dude in the world, or like The Rock, or whatever the fuck he says. And then you got like people all the way down at the farthest end of the spectrum, like the guy who made Temple OS. And then you kind of scoot along the line, you go back a little more towards the humanity, and you get King Cobra and all that kind of stuff. And then you end up somewhere in the middle with Fousey Tube.
Wake up, y'all. Wake up.
And Fousey Tube is interesting because since I heard about him back in like 2015, that motherfucker sprints from one end and back all the time. He can't control whether he's shaping his career or the highs of his own success drive him down into a spiraling typhoon of manic episodes and, you know, new age free thinking and all kinds of shit. It's pretty wild. But today I just want to talk about Fousey Tube because I think there's an interesting message to learn from all this. And I think with some of the recent events that have been going on, I think it'd be interesting to talk about, because if you haven't known, for the last 6 weeks, Fousey Tube has been streaming successfully. Massive success. He was on the H3 podcast, got a huge boost from that, and now he's been living high up in the clouds of streaming, you know, getting to meet with the Island Boys. Jack Doherty, I don't know who that is. It's like a millionaire. It's like he looks like he's 8 and he owns a mansion in LA. That's how you know the world's fair. Aiden Ross, Sneeko, and all kinds of people. It's been a kind of a crazy return, but immediately he saw it's been a downfall since then. I've been seeing some thumbnails pop up of, you know, the cataclysmic failure of his rise. And if you don't know who Fousey Tube is, he was a prankster back in like 2013, and then it was like a big crazy thing when people found out, wait, what? The people he's pranking are actors? What? It was such a naive and simple time on YouTube back then. And, you know, he did that one, there was that one funny prank that my mom showed me on Facebook one time, which was he dresses up like Sub-Zero and scares people in an elevator. It's awesome. It's a good one. It's a really good one. But it's been highs and lows because he would do that. His career kind of took a nosedive when the controversy of, you know, him paying actors to prank came out. He decided to go homeless as a social experiment. That didn't go over well. Then he tattooed a bunch of fake hair on his head, took time off YouTube, said that he's never been better. And the interesting thing, the pattern that I'm seeing is that you fail really hard, you eat a big piece of humble pie, as soon as fame, money, and attention comes his way, it completely corrupts him. It's like Ouroboros. It's the snake that's eating its own tail perpetually forever. But at the end of the day, has he done anything as crazy as on that spectrum as like Chris Chan? No. Or the Temple OS guy, you know? Do I think he's as insane as him? Absolutely not. And with Fousey Tube, I think there's any way that the internet can reciprocate love or hatred in a way that doesn't always end up in the circle of big, massive amounts of attention leading into money back down to huge pitfalls. Which some of the things, like I said, he got started with the last 6 weeks. So let's talk about some of the stuff that he's done in the last 6 weeks. One, he ate that big humble piece of pie. He went on the H3 podcast, talked about how he was kind of a doofus back in the day. People like that.
You were being a problem already.
Very. You could see in my eyes. That's not saying eyes.
I like how he talks bad about himself.
He's a good guy.
Man, when you're able to laugh at yourself, you're a great person.
And then like a week later, he meets a woman in the airport and he's having a fun time in there. And then you find out that the woman was sex trafficked. And then he ends up coming back and saying that he had sex with the woman in a bathroom.
So I got sold into the sex trade.
You got sold in the sex trade? I actually care about this shit because I'm like an advocate for like against sex trading and all that shit. I'm shameful to the girls who I like did stuff with that were like sex trafficked. I just joined the Mile High Club. That's from everything I love. I just joined the Mile High Club in the airport. And I lost one of my headphones, so we're good at the end of the day.
Now, personally, in a week's time, that's a big step. That's a big step to where I'm like, I bet the humble thing is kind of a bit of a calculated response, knowing that people know what you want to hear to get ahead. Am I being kind of pessimistic? Absolutely. But when you see it time and time again from a person, it's just like, it's so obvious. He's in his car getting picked up from the airport. There's a part where like this girl he's with she's like gonna puke and shit or something like that. She says in the car, and he left that in. I thought that was kind of weird.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I'm going to throw up. I need to pee. Can I just run in here really quick?
Okay.
But he basically addresses how he was a sex addict at some time, yada, yada, yada. He takes accountability, eats another piece of humble pie. Skip like another week. Here he is in the mansion with the Island Boys, and he's walking down a freeway. It's like, and he's talking, he's boasting about how successful and popular he is. He's already failed once. I can't keep possibly failing. And then it does time and time again. Like I said, he met up with Jack Doherty, this fucking like, looks like he's like 8. He's a young guy. He's a young rich guy in LA, owns a mansion. Fousey like slaps him. He's like berating him in this kid's house.
My cock is 9 inches deep through your skull.
Why don't you have a seat right over there?
A lot of weird shit, like really petty, stupid stuff. And it doesn't fall on me that this is all for clicks and attention and he's boosting things up. Like, it's all exaggerated. It's all like fabricated to keep them viewers up, baby. You got to get them subs. You got to get them donos, dude. You got to appease that kick contract. I get it. You can see this episode spiraling. I mean, like he ends up doing a 24-hour stream for the next month, which even I think Sneeko and some of his other buddies were like, that's a really bad idea. And I think he lasted 2 days before he had a manic episode. And then he had that mental that he stood on top of that car and there was a mob of people around him and he was just screaming at him.
I wanted to kill myself because of all the attention you gave me.
Complete and total mental breakdown. And then after that, he takes a year off from the internet. Everything in his life is good. I'm a better person. And, you know, his events with the mansion thing, him on the highway, him streaming left and right, ended up resulting in him sitting in a hotel room, faking a hostage situation, talking to like this weird stalker on the phone, talking about how they're both gonna like meet up and kill each other because that's cool, getting dragged off. And now we're at this current moment where guy's probably in a psych ward, has mental evaluations. And if I had to guess, if I had to be a oracle or a fortune teller, I'm gonna assume he comes back and says, I mean, I don't really know what I was doing. Honestly, I need to like be better about what I'm doing with my life. I gotta like check myself more. That's not the Fousey that I want people to know. That's not me.
You could see in my eyes. That's not sane eyes. Like, I was drunk.
A couple little things coming from the perspective of another YouTuber, another hit viral YouTuber like myself. Oh, no! One, chasing fame is so fickle and fucking stupid that it will do nothing for you. Like, the amount of people that I know whose lives have just been absolutely fucking tarnished by the idea of wanting to be famous or even having an audience. Not even the idea of being famous, but just inherently being a popular figure has completely destroyed them, whether it be on their own gains or some other kind of outside force that has come in and destroyed them. It's fucking horrible. All I know is that this Fousey thing, the guy needs to just step away from the internet. It's that delicate dance of, can you live in the chaos that is being a person that uploads shit online? Which, let me tell you something. If you do that in any degree, you're living in some kind of chaos. I don't give a fuck if your whole channel is you making pancakes. Amongst the pancakes, there's gonna be chaos, I'm telling you. And also, you know what we need to normalize more too? And coming from a YouTuber, right? Getting HVAC certified. All of these YouTubers, my channel, everybody's fucking channel is going to amount to nothing. There'll be a new fad in the future. All of these files that are on this website will not exist at some point. No one will know who the fuck we are, and that's okay. Maybe just get HVAC certified. Maybe become an electrician, be a general contractor, have something that's useful. Everybody needs to stay cool, okay? My ass crack always dance. Not that I am morbidly obese, but still, that's something it's getting hot. All right, so I just thought that this was kind of crazy. The series of events that have been going on right now have been it's just been one hell of a crazy time, and I don't know, man. Just use this as a fucking warning sign, I guess. You know, is it worth it? I'm asking you. I mean, is it worth it? I'm definitely not the perfect person either or anything. I like how he talks bad about himself. Some of the stuff I care about now, like I'll sit there and I'll stop and think to myself and be like, I can't actually believe that I give a fuck about this.
I like how he talks bad about
It's terrible. Social media is the worst, man. And what sucks too is you have like the only thing that like sometimes I think about this a lot of time is that a lot of times I was happy because the idea of achieving something was always there. But then whenever you have it, you find out that it's like just as worse, except now you like are parasocially attached to this idea of this thing that you want. And it just like completely kills you. And then you do transform into another person and you try to stay human, but really you're just like this fucking waste of space, waste of fucking oxygen online who makes absolute fucking garbage. So, and that's your life. And then you're paid handsomely for it. And then you feel nothing but guilt. So that's the thing. That's the road. All right, that's probably good.